Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome back to Transport Fever. This episode, let's see what we're up to. We were going towards Laredo. Laredo is now connected. The Hollywood-Laredo line, I believe, is one that we didn't quite connect up. Or well, we did, but then we found out that this line isn't too profitable. You can see the line still exists, there's no people waiting there, as there is no train on that line. I have 3.6 million, which is not too bad. And yes, I know I still have a pretty big loan, but here's the thing. I can pay it off now, and that would allow me to save, well, a couple million a year. 2.5 at the most. However, I would rather be able to spend a bit of money every year, as opposed to having to pay back this loan in, well, considering my profits are about 1.33 million a year. 100 years. That's not going to work out. Not at all. So instead, I want to focus on transporting more passengers, and that's what I'm going to be using my money for. Now, Huntington Beach Patterson is definitely one of those lines where there seems to be a lot of action. It's one of those lines that makes me about $500,000 a year. Right now we have 50 people waiting here and 50 or 80 people waiting on the other side. So let's see what we can do this episode to grow these towns. And Huntington Beach, of course, would be an interesting situation to focus on. What I can do is use the train line that I already have set up partially, and then split it off to this area over here. And from here we can resupply Huntington Beach, or supply Huntington Beach, with fuel. So let's get to work on that. Let's go for a large truck stop. You never know exactly when you're going to be needing a large one versus a standard one. That will do. And then where's the industry? Here it seems. Oop, that's the tram. Yeah, we can drop it off there. And that covers pretty much all of the area that I need to cover. So we're going to go over there. This is Huntington Fuel. If we can expand industry here, that's going to cause more passengers to queue up. Right. Now, thanks to these lines already being here, I can very easily split two of them off. And of course, they will need signals of their own, but this will allow me to easily make use of another freight train, which is going to be operating from here to there. And of course, this oil at Patterson is already doing quite a large production per year, 400, and we can do a little better than that. Let's see if I can squeeze in a train station here, at a location where the train station still counts as connected. I usually tend to make a box around these things to make sure that there is a little bit of room for a station to connect to. Okay, will the game accept it, yes or no? Freight train station, terminal, not over there, it won't. There we go, now it will. Angle a bit. That's pretty deep. Well, I guess we're gonna have to make use of that. Okay. Now, we're gonna have two tracks coming out from this. One of them is going to be connecting immediately onto the right side. So we're gonna have a train that goes out that way, and we're gonna have another line. The game, well, the game is sort of fighting me on that. Let's see if we can split it off here. See, the challenge is trying to connect it up to this line. There we go. Alright. Now we need to make sure that these guys aren't going to interfere too much. You're going to be operating that way. There's potentially a long train stopping here. So I'm thinking I want my signal here, but if I do that and there's a large tanker train waiting here, then I run into issues if I park the train up here, because the other lines, of course, will keep sending out passenger trains. And that's not really something that I want to deal with. So I'm going to put my signaling here. And I'm just going to have to make sure that trains more or less fit in that section. Alright, as for the other end, we're pretty much going to be doing the same thing in reverse. Yeah, this will do. Okay. Onwards and upwards. Well, preferably not upwards. Building upwards is rather expensive in this game. Oop, let's make sure it connects up. Like that. And like that. Okay. And you're gonna wait there. We're gonna have a few sections on here, but we don't really need that many. Okay, and now we can transport crude oil from over here to over there. It's not a particularly long line, doesn't need to be. And this is the Huntington, let's call it crude. And of course, being dark would allow me to see it far more easily. Does it work on the right tracks? Yes, it does. It takes up the track that is also used by the other train going north. And it links up with the other train going south until it splits off to its own train station. So that's exactly what I want. Do I have a depot that I can use? Sorta. Yeah. This train station, well, train's gonna have to go there first. No. I don't like that much. But we still have room. I just hope that we have enough room in the budget. That's going to be more interesting. Can we buy a train? Because trains tend to be rather expensive. And of course I don't need to buy just a few trains, I also need to buy a few trucks. And this is 3.22, this is the cheapest I can find. 5 million, 11 million, 7, 10. Yeah, not quite yet. Right, so the infrastructure set up. Now we need to look into getting the money to get the train. Let's check up on the lines. How are they doing? The Denton tram is making a slight loss. Denton Huntington is good, or Denton Huntington's good. Gainesville Denton's good. Gainesville Hollywood's good. Gainesville Patterson, not very good. It's this line. No, this thing is costing me a few more dollars than I'm expending, or than I'm gaining from it. And while this train does fill up nicely, I was hoping for a bit more. So what's making you so expensive? Because you're one of these, the GE40C, or the GEC40 actually. Decent speed. You're still worth 12 million. Metro lines are too expensive. That's for sure. How about two of these? Because this one has a running cost of 2.21 million a year. I can fit in one EMD GP9 with, say, two of these. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so replacement vehicle. That's going to be this one. Sorry, the GP9, that's the one. And then two bombardiers. You gain 5 million, yes, I like that part. Because right now it's hauling 3 carriages, if I'm not mistaken. Because it has the 99 capacity. So, with the cash that I just gained from that, I can set another one up on that line. Oh, crap, that's the wrong one. This one. And that should allow for a little bit more passengers on that line, as people are going to be realizing, hey, there is more than one train here. I don't need to wait forever. This one's going to get updated. Capacity goes down to 66 people, but that's okay. Because my running cost for this train also went down to only 1.17 million a year. So right now I still have more or less the same running cost for this train in a year, but I don't have a capacity of 99 with one train going one way and then hoping that there's enough passengers on the other side. I have two, which is going to increase the transport potential. And this train is already full. I need to make 1.1 million a year. Let's round that up to 1.2. And this one, well, they're going to have to make a few hauls if they want to actually get all those people across and still make a profit. There's a lot of passengers waiting here. That's the Gainesville-Patterson line. So that's the one we just upgraded. I wonder if these things can actually do it. I think they might be able to. And potentially, if there's enough passengers on either end, I'm going to be looking into adding another carriage to these trains. There's definitely plenty of people waiting here. Far more than the train can actually transport. We have 1,091 people waiting here versus 954. I believe that we were building out the industry here. Yep, that looks good. How about doing the same thing for Gainesville? Because that could allow me a pretty quick buck in money making there. Patterson Fuel is making me about $1 million a year. That's not bad, because these trucks are relatively cheap. 430. If only I can say the same thing for my trains. Let's see, will the Gainesville-Patterson line now be making a profit? Right now it is. That's better. No, at the moment, if I only look at my trains, I have no lines which are not making a profit. Yes, of course, you could say that there are lines which don't have a vehicle on them, but at least they're not costing me money. Laredo-Patterson still doing quite well with just one train. Interesting. Which one was that again? Ah, yes, down here. I'm not going to be adding another train just yet because there are, well, just not that many people living in Laredo. It definitely went up from 198 to 540. But I think that for now we can still keep track of all of this with just one train. Now, considering that this is a small truck stop, upgrading it is not going to do me any favors, so I'm going to have to build another one. Oh, and somebody commented on this particular line, this particular road that I put up here, that it wasn't too efficient. Well, yes it is, because if I'm not sending my trucks directly from here to there, I know that there's a road there, but the faster stuff arrives, the faster I get paid. The faster I get paid, the faster these things transport their stuff to the Patterson, the faster they can be back at the oil well. So it's more efficient to do a loop like this. I just don't like this turn too much, because that turn is slowing me down, or rather my vehicles. This should be better, and yes, I just spent another 180k at that, but this truck is now consistently doing 70 to 80, so that's better. That's what I wanted to go for. Okay, is that line still making me money? Gainesville, Patterson. Yep, 222k a year. And for towards Gainesville, there are plenty of people waiting. To the other side, just about enough. Right. Well, I'm going to have to pause this plan here temporarily because I simply won't be able to get the money in time. Let's focus on this one, because this can be an interesting loop, albeit quite a long one. Going from over there to here to there and then all the way back. And unfortunately that's the only real oil well that I might be able to use. Yeah, we're gonna have to make sure we use this one. We're getting a decent portion of money this year, by the way, 2.7 million. That's excluding the sold vehicle. So we're starting to make a profit. Profits are definitely going up, the way that I like to see them. Now let's go for a large truck station here. And maybe I'm gonna have to split this up into 3 separate lines. So we're gonna have one going from there to there, one going from here to Patterson, and one going from here to Gainesville. Just to make sure that we have enough supply going into this facility. Is that likely? I think I'm gonna have trucks running empty from here to there, or back rather, and empty from Patterson to here. But that really cannot be helped. The alternative is going from here to here full, from here to there full, and from there to there empty. Huh. Right. As for the roads, it looks alright. Actually, with this much money coming in, I might be able to execute this plan anyway. 3.22, we're going to have to add a few tank cars to that. I think it can be done. This thing accepts 199 units of fuel. Oh, we have a new train. Priorities, priorities. I want to focus on growing everything. At the moment, Huntington Beach is the smallest, after Gainesville and Patterson. Patterson, by the way, is not too happy about the transport. There's only 37% usage. That's less than I was expecting. Anyway, let's execute that plan. So we're going to buy the EMD GP9, and we're going to buy a few tanker cars for that, which are rather expensive in their current state. That's going to be transporting Huntington crude. And the next one we already have set up, we just need vehicles. That's the tram depot. Do I have a vehicle depot nearby? Well, this one's going to have to do. I can get at least one going. That was the Huntington fuel over there. So at least there's some use in that line. Otherwise, this train station won't really start to produce anything or start to collect anything. How's your power? Alright, power rating is good. And is that the other train? These guys should not be interfering with each other whatsoever. What's your speed? 62? Okay. That's not very good. We may need to fix that. That's the Huntington fuel line. More money's coming in. Let's get a few more road vehicles. Are you already transporting something? Yes, already 12. Not bad. This thing's going to cost me a little under $1 million, probably making me a far, far greater deal of money. Especially once we actually start filling up all of those transport slots that we have. See, this is not too impressive, 90k. But there's going to be more and more and more waiting. This one, if we keep production up by these levels, might go upgrading to production of 800. 17 waiting, 18, and we have our first bit of fuel produced. Let's see how fast we can grow production, or we can grow jobs in Huntington. Hopefully fast. Right, 25 out of 36, now we're getting there. And there is one of my trucks. Getting ready to supply. Let's pay off a bit of the loan, because January is right around the corner. Come on, we're going to need a bit more money. Another 500k would be wonderful. There we go. 98 million. So, really not going to... There, I just saved 50,000. That's all, really. Alright, what did you do? Not bad. 186k. And right now there should be enough to fill up the whole train. At least by the time he gets there, hopefully. We need 36 on this train to completely fill it up. 28. Come on, you can do better. Alright, it's going to tick up production. And of course this is not the only, or this one is not the only station that's currently making a demand on this oil well. This one is asking for far, far more. And Patterson still has room to grow, jobs-wise. So let's get a few more road vehicles in there, once we have the money to pay for them. So I can start to grow Patterson even faster. We're going to let these guys just tick on for a while. This Huntington fuel line, not making a profit so far, but most of the time they're running half empty. This train is probably going to take a few... Why are you taking fuel back? Hold on. Huntington Beach, load if available. Absolutely not. Unload only. We are not taking stuff back. Because why would I want fuel over here? Hang on, are these guys transporting fuel back? Wait one. They're going to Gainesville. Gainesville transfer, which is out there. That's where they want to pick up stuff. And of course drop it off. And then Cherry Street, I want you to only drop off there. That's all. I don't want you to pick up anything. Why do we have 15 points of... I don't know. Okay. And yep, there's fuel waiting here as well. So the game thinks that I want to transport fuel back to the oil well. That's a curious development. Why would I want that? How much money are you making me? Negative so far. But he's almost breaking even. And right now there's definitely enough fuel there. Let's add another car to that ASAP. Because then the running costs are probably going to go and mitigate themselves. Alright, I did make a small profit this year. After investing quite a bit last year. How's Huntington doing? Yeah, we're getting fuel. Albeit slowly. But look at the progress we made. It's now at 773 jobs, starting out at 273. So definitely an improvement. Okay, January came around, so we just paid off our loan. Or well, our interest on the loan. And this one actually made a profit last year. Small one, but it made a profit. Let's see what happens if I don't touch it at all. Not going to pay off any loans at the moment. Well, I could do that, but let's see how much money we can make in a year if I don't interfere with this stuff. And it is hard not to interfere. Gainesville Patterson's almost ready for another vehicle there. Let's do that in 2008, next year. And it's weird saying 2008 next year, but we're talking in-game, of course. Oh, look at this. We're building skyscrapers. Land value 500 per square meter. Not bad. Fuel here is looking good. Fuel here is looking mediocre. Lines check. Denton tram still costing me, but then again, the trams are really not too interesting. Huntington crude is, well, a very, very tiny money drain. Our vehicles, Huntington fuel is a small money drain. I probably have one too many vehicles on there at the moment. The other one's doing quite well. The trams are, well, most of them drawing a bit more cash than I was expecting. And I'm probably going to have to add a few more trams just to keep feeding people into the train station. Well, this train station does cover most of the town already. There's definitely a few people waiting here. Okay, let's prepare for that. Right now the Denton line is going clockwise, so this is going to be Denton going counterclockwise. We're going to have to cover more of this area. Electric. Oh, damn it, I wasn't going to spend any money this year. Okay. In that case, you're going to Smith Street and all the way back. Right, so that's Denton counterclockwise. No vehicles on there just yet. Next, we have Gainesville, where in Gainesville we only have one vehicle. Christ, that's a bit low. Gainesville counterclockwise. There's a lot of people waiting in Hollywood. The right streetcar. Okay, so new trams. I made 1 million last year. We've seen that do better. What do we have here for tram lines? Okay, we already have the clockwise and the counterclockwise. Burrito. 1 tram line. So this one's going to go in the opposite direction. That should do. So this is Laredo counterclockwise. Actually, this is Laredo clockwise. The other one is Laredo counterclockwise. Come to think of it. Alright, let's add a tram onto that line. This one can transport 20, this is what we're using if I'm not mistaken. And we can boost it up to this one, which is even faster. And let's do that. Set to Laredo. Let's see if we can increase production there for passengers. Over here. I know the trams are not directly making me money, but they are feeding into the train network. And that is important. Now I know I already have a counterclockwise and a clockwise line going on here. But there are just too many people waiting there. So I think I can do better. How fast are these? 45? Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about that. Replace now. And the same goes for this one. Vehicles. Oh jeez, you're 27 years old. Okay. Replacement. That one. Replace now. Not enough money. Nope. I'm down 215k. Replace now. There we go. This is one of the new ones. There's definitely a lot of passengers waiting to go to Patterson. Alright, plenty. How about these lines? Because these must be outdated by now. Gainesville. Yeah. 38 years old. I can't buy them anymore. Actually, no, that's not the one. Okay, replace. And we're going to have one going in the opposite direction because we still hadn't set one to Gainesville counterclockwise. So you going to Gainesville counterclockwise. This one is probably still, yep, still an old one. Replacement. I think my trams were going to start complaining about being replaced, or needing to be replaced anyways. Replace that one. And let's get a new one, as soon as we can afford one, that is. Profits last year? No, not really, because I bought quite a few new vehicles. Almost have enough. Screw it, I want my loan back. Counterclockwise, I think, needed a vehicle. Yep, better. As for the other side, Huntington. Huntington already has a standard and a counterclockwise. Vehicle age, 37 years. Old. And I have, what, multiple vehicles here? No, just one. Okay. Replace now. I still don't expect these trams to start making money all of a sudden. Holy shit! There's a lot of fuel waiting at Patterson. This one is going to need an upgrade. And so far it's only costing me money every year. Unfortunately, getting even one car for this is going to cost me 1.2 million. I'm almost there. We had... What are you exactly? Oh, I cannot buy that anymore? The GP9? Really? Okay. So we're gonna have to get another vehicle. Another lead car. Of course, all of those are far more expensive. Figures. I'm not gonna invest anything in that yet. Well, no, I'm gonna have to. What do we do? Turn around. I know I can manually, I can usually use the replacement feature, but not right now. Because I can simply not buy a unit like that anymore. So in this case, I'm gonna have to make an exception and buy a few more manually. Okay, now we have 72. Doubled the production value there. And I don't need you to go to the other side first. I need you to get to the main line and then turn around. And since he's the only one there, that shouldn't be a problem. Huntington Beach is being provided with fuel. And he's now taking on 72. Power value is mediocre. Power rating just dropped. Let's see how much this thing is going to make. The HH8. HHP8, my bad. What's that? Let's see. There it is. 200 kph. Cha-ching! 500k. Running costs annually, 1.37 million a year. I think we're going to start making money with this line now. Anyway, the HH8. Keep calling it HH. HHP8, my bad. 16.2 million for one of those. They seem to be very, very fast trains. The fastest I can field right now, 200 kph. Of course, if I was running a European game, or a European map, I would be able to get those super fast trains by now. Alright, Patterson, you're going to need a new tram, buddy. So yours are getting slightly outdated. Now, time to start saving up money again. Once this train hits, I wonder if it's going to make money this year. It might. Cha-ching. Yep, another 535. Now it's making money. And there's definitely plenty of stuff left for it to haul. And that should mean that this line, Huntington Fuel, is also going to start making a profit. 656, yes, we have the money for that. Right, so we have our new line. I still have the infrastructure set up for going from over there to here to there, to Gainesville, to supply that with fuel. We don't quite know where to drop it off yet. Let's set up another empty line. Can we use this one? We can. But I don't want these things to get too busy. I don't want queues to start forming. That would be annoying. And most of the industry seems to be focused... Where? Northern edge of town? Yeah, right about there. And this is all urban area. It's at a bus stop. Because you can clearly deliver fuel to a bus stop. Of all places. There. And once you're there, only offload. Don't do anything else. It's not the most pretty route in the sense that it's going to take some of these things quite a while to make their way back. So be it. Oh, line 1. We haven't named it yet. You were going to Gainesville to provide fuel. See, this is what I don't want. Trucks cramming into the same position. And probably there's not anything... Oh, actually there is. Yep, there is a bit waiting for them. Some of them are going on empty. These are the newer trucks as well. That's the Patterson line. What is the difference between those two vehicles? Because what I'm currently using is the Peterbilt for an 80 kph, 51k a year. And for 71k I have a vehicle that is slightly faster and transports more. That's an interesting upgrade. Hang on, are my trams making money? Well, slightly. Oh, and we still have the Laredo. That's the old tram. 25 years. Well, it can still last a while. And the Patterson tram. I want my material to be updated ASAP. Alright, here's one of the Gainesville trucks. Immediately gained fuel. We may have to do something about this later. I don't want my trains to start blocking up the vehicles over here. So if I have enough money, which is going to take a while, I might be able to build a bridge here. That should fix that issue. This thing already made a profit, albeit a modest one. And it's not even at its final destination yet. Yeah, this covered most of what the town needs fuel-wise. Where are you at? There you were. Ching, another 30k. Can we replace it? 324. No, we don't have to 324. Not yet. Alright, this year I haven't spent anything on building new or buying new vehicles. So we're slowly starting to see a profit. And of course, I'm terrible with using profits. Or at least holding on to my profits, rather. You're done. And this is going to be an interesting challenge. The fact that these trains need to be replaced. Shit. Okay. So, our trains are starting to age. Or at least our trams are up to date. I'm going to have to look into the train issue next time. For this time, hope you enjoyed the episode. Let me know what your thoughts are down below, and I'll see you soon for the next video.